cheerio, bonjour. So, there's not really very many good murders going on right now. If you can think of something, let me know, and I'll tell you my 2 cents. So I want to talk about our favorite luggage consultant, Sarah Boone, and I'll tell you why. What makes me think of her? Her birthday is 10-10-77. And I can remember she said that so many times, in the interrogation, the first day with the police officer, while George is still in the suitcase in the house. 10-10-77. And I happened to have to say the date the other day. And I said 10-10. And ding, ding, Sarah popped into my house, into my mind. Oh, my goodness. So I was doing... So Sarah is inmate U, as in ugly. That's not very nice. U is in underwear. 72509. Just in case you were curious, that's her inmate number. So you remember her, she was arrested in the spring 2020, maybe the fall 2020. I apologize. But her trial was October of 2024. The morning her trial was set to begin, 9 a.m., Judge Kranick, bang, his gavel, court is open. That morning, the prosecutors, it was a dude and a woman. I remember the dude, Cacciatore's. Sorry. That morning, she's out of her cell. They have allowed her to put real clothing on. They did not allow her to have snacks. She asked to have snacks during the trial, and Kranick said no. If you want to have snacks during the day, here's a clue. Don't zip your boyfriend in a suitcase. Or at least don't leave him there. I guess you can zip him in there all you want. Just don't leave him there. Okay. That morning, they went to her and her attorney, James Owens, and said, the same deal is on the table. 15 years flat. Your trial is going to start in a half an hour. Again, we're offering you 15 years for second-degree murder. And Sarah said, no, thank you. So had Sarah changed her mind and said that, actually, they offered her the plea deal, I believe, a year, at least a year before her trial began. So some of my times, I guess she's still... Anyway, so had she taken the deal, she would have 9 years left. 9 years from now. Right now it's 2025, so that would be 2034. In Florida, you get about 15% off for good behavior. Now, I chuckle because Sarah does have a little bit of an attitude. She seems to know everything about everything. So there's no true guarantee that Sarah would have gotten her time off for good behavior. But let's just say that she did. Well, she'd be out in 7.5 years, a little tiny over. So 7 years, 6 months, it would be about 7 years, 8 months or so. So that would put her at about April 2033. My math may be incorrect. April 2032. How's that? A little bit better math. But no, again, so I noticed that just recently, her appellate attorney, who is, given to her by the state because she's been labeled indigent, withdrew from the case. So I thought, oh my goodness, we're going through this again. What'd she go through? 4 or 5 attorneys for the free ones? And I looked it up. The reason he wanted to be taken off of her case is he's no longer practicing appellate law. Now, it is possible that he's no longer practicing appellate law because of Sarah, and he dealt with her for 17 seconds and went, whoa, absolutely not, no way. The total court costs she had for murdering George were only $568. I was very, very surprised at that. You murder someone and it only cost $568? That's like a bargain bin murder. I'm sorry. But the judge, like I said, he declared her dirt broke. So that means any money that's put in her commissary account, oh my goodness, I have it sitting on the printer. Well, I'll try to put this together. Any money that's in her commissary account, let's say there's $1,000 in her commissary account. Let me see. I had it listed here. Oh, 25%. The state is only able to take 25%. So out of that 568, they're only going to get $250 of that. I did try to send Sarah a gift. They have little gift baskets and things. And Sarah is not eligible for gifts. So I don't know what she's done. I was able to find a completely random person who is also an inmate at Lowell. I typed in to send them a gift, and that, you can go in and that inmate is eligible to send gifts or to receive gifts, but you have to be on their visitor list. And I'm not on that person's visitors list. So, would you bring me the items off of the printer, please?
The where?
The printer.
Yes, ma'am.
So, I don't know what Sarah's done. She's already ticked off the warden. The warden's a female also. I tried to find a picture of her, but I couldn't. But I also didn't do a big Google search because I think that's a little creepy. You know, okay. So here's some information about the Lowell Annex. The specific place where she is. One thing about the entire prison system, they do serve 230,000 meals every day. Did you see this? I was impressed, but now that covers the entire prison system. It said, that's not specifically her place. Well, her place has 2 levels of security, of people. Now, they do take death row. One of the places doesn't take anyone who is a high security, who is a bad girl, gets written up. That's only for nice people. The other place takes the bad people, and that's, again, the death row. Oh, on a side note, the Florida Department of Corrections is hiring. So if you're looking for a government job, I'm sure it provides excellent benefits, great health insurance. You can just go to their website, and right at the top, there's a big banner. Now hiring. So the visitation is 7 days a week, and I think that's good. It's not Monday through Friday with Thursdays late opening, 7 days a week, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. So if you have a family member that doesn't really have a lot of money, and Floyd, do you want some cheese? Here's Floyd. He wants some cheese. So can you see Floyd? Hi, Floyd. Floyd eats this, that cheese in a can. It's disgusting. Oh, I think cheese is disgusting anyway. If cheese were the only thing left on earth, I would starve to death. I couldn't even be able to get through it. Oh, thinking about it's making me, yucky. So you have a family member that can just barely get there, or, they have to work. They can't take time off, but they want to come see their auntie who's in prison for the, possession of heroin, so they can show up on a Sunday. Good. Here are some things. So not all of these people are stupid like Sarah Boone and turned down a plea deal. When you very obviously committed the crime, not only did you admit that you did it, you videotaped yourself doing it. The man's begging you, please let me out, I can't breathe. And you just laugh at him. At one point, you even kick him, or you take a golf club and hit him. So, you did all that, and you turned down a plea deal. So for the people who do have a chance to get out, they offer a lot of programs. I was not able to tell if the programs are free or not. I think that they should be, because if someone's in there and they can't afford the $16 a class to go to cosmetology school, that's unfair. You want that person to be released from incarceration and have a second chance at life, or a third chance sometimes. Sometimes the first time doesn't always work. So they'll teach you how to put some pretty makeup on, cooking. You can learn electrical things, so you can go out and work with the guys in their underwear, their little butt crack showing. That may be only plumbers. This one I thought was kind of cool. Heavy equipment training. Okay, so you say, how hard is it to drive something like that? Well, it is hard. It's different. They have different gears. My buddy Red, he was my very best friend on the planet, he went up to see the Lord in 2017. He had a Bobcat, and I had to learn how to drive the Bobcat, and it was sort of weird. But he even had one of those, just a simple lawnmower that you sit on. I'm sure you've seen this, but it has the handlebars that you drive like this. And I almost flipped it one time. I really struggled with that lawnmower. Another thing they have at this specific prison is they have doggy training. And I think that's fantastic. I was curious if they're training the dogs. Do the dogs remain at the prison? Do they get to go back to the cells with the inmates? There are multiple prisons across the country that let the guys, I've only seen it in men's prisons, have cats. And I watched an interview with a warden, and their prison allows that. And he said, once we got the cats, the violence almost completely eliminated. Because if you have a fight, you lose your cat. And they don't want to lose their cat. And this cat comes to your prison cell with you. He lives in your, I'm sure he sleeps on your bunk. It would be a bummer if you got one of those cats that doesn't like to be touched. I have 4 cats, and my cats go through phases. See, Floyd's already gone. I have 3 of my cats are inside out. 1 cat is only inside, and she doesn't ever shut up. First thing in the morning. And then I used to have a 5th cat, but he lives at the neighbor's house now. And just recently, the neighbor asked us what his name is because he lives there now. So Sonny, why am I telling you about my cats? Good goodness. Okay, now some clubs that you can do at the prison. The clubs are eligible for lifers. They have a class called Dance to Be Free. And Sel asked me, he's like, so do you dance? And once you've danced a certain amount of dances or hours, you get to be free? I have no idea. Did not have a description. They have a lactation class. How many women are going into prison and need lactation help? For real. So if you've given birth, so you're lactating, and then you go to prison and they teach you how to handle that, by the time you get released from prison, you're going to be dried up. So you're not going to be lactating any longer. That one didn't really make sense to me. They have yoga. I have never, ever, ever done yoga in my life. I should. I'm a little frightened. I'm scared. I probably could. And then they have another class. It's called Thinking for a Change. There are a lot of people on our planet that need that class. Thinking for a Change. Wow. I looked up to see she's in Ocala, Florida. I looked up to find out about her family. Remember, both of her parents are deceased. And I know she had a brother, at least one. Turns out she has 2. And I thought, well, are they going to come visit her? Well, the one brother is in the military. So that's going to be a tough one for him to be. I guess he could visit once a year or something.
Head east on Wethford Court toward Ridge.
Sorry. But The other brother, it looks like he may still be incarcerated. But Ocala is just a little south of Gainesville. That's where University of Florida is. Did you know that Gatorade is truly named after the Florida Gators? I'm rambling. I need to hurry up. But the other brother looks like he still is in prison. He was not. He had some charges of doing naughty things with a minor, but it seemed to be a consensual minor. So you can buy soda, and that surprises me because I've seen multiple interviews over the years where the interviewer will ask, what's one thing you really miss? Or what's the first thing you're going to do? And they always say, I want to have a soda. But they sell soda now. Now, I want your opinion on this. Oh, this is what I wanted to look at, and I should have looked at it beforehand. But do women have to pay for tampons? Here's why I ask. It's not as if a woman chooses you have to pay for tampons to have her period. The good Lord made us do that. So you get a 10 count for $6. And that's not actually terribly more than the market. I haven't actually needed to use them in a few years. But, okay, shampoo is Alberta VO5. That was big when I was a kid. $2 for 12.5 ounces. I don't think that's outrageous. They sell maxi pads also. So it's not like the prison will give you maxi pads for free. If you want tampons, you have to buy them. In that case, I would understand. But if I ever want to do something for these women, I may start a campaign for free tampons in prison. Roll-on deodorant. I've heard that deodorant's not good for you. Have you heard that? Washcloth, a white washcloth is $1. They sell tweezers. They are blunt. $2.50 for tweezers. I'm surprised they sell tweezers. Can't you make a weapon out of tweezers? I heard this, that in the men's prisons, they almost don't ever tell on each other, even if they don't like somebody. You know that your bad guy has some HERION. You don't tell on him. The women aren't like that. The women are 100% catty, just like women are out in the world. They telling on everyone. Okay, I'm going to shut this down. Again, there's not really any good murders right now. If you could think of something, let me know. For whatever reason, I've never been into the Karen Reed case. I do think that the Boston police set her up. I think she probably had some issues of herself. But I think they couldn't figure it out. And they said, you know what the hell? We've got enough to just take her down. I really hope the Kentucky girl, the one who gave birth and hid the baby, her charges are increased. I feel like the lab work should have been back by now. But I'm concerned her parents have friends in high places. But she lives in Tennessee, and this all happened in Lexington, Kentucky. So I guess they're only about 2 hours from each other. So I guess let's hope not. That troubles me. I am pleased that she's been eating a lot of carbs and has puffed up a little bit. So, okay, if you're still watching right now, I'm shocked. Goodness. If there's something you can think of you want me to talk about, tell me. Today is Sunday, and I'm getting on an airplane and flying to North Carolina to see one of my girlfriends. I'll be there for a week. Gonna play a little golf. I'm sure we'll eat something. If the plane crashes between Dulles and Raleigh-Durham, going in tomorrow and then coming back, I was on it. Make sure you check the passenger manifest. Look for Meredith. Say a little prayer for me. But know that my heirs will all get a nice little fat paycheck from United Airlines. But hook me up, hit like, so YouTube will send me around a little bit more. Hit subscribe if you haven't hit subscribed. God bless you, and God bless America. Bye-bye.